Perfect. Hello, I am PardusEleos, and today's side quest is building a house for a spider. Disclaimer, there will be images of a spider in this video. I'll label these sections with timestamps if it's an issue. But if you're not too bothered, just look away when you hear this noise. Got it? Good. This is Quentin. Despite being afraid of spiders myself, he's been helping me get over that. Well, when he's being cute and not. He appeared after jumping out of the washing basket at my mum. My dad caught him and brought him to me. Quentin currently lives in the enclosure where my previous spider Phyllis used to. And let's be honest, this place needs to be redecorated. I wanted to make some kind of castle ruins, with my first thought being a library or throne room. Using paper, I built a structure based on this drawing to get a sense of scale. I ultimately made the decision that while it looked cool, it wasn't the best design as it took up too much of the floor space and it would be difficult to make the stairs even. The archways were too small to properly see through them and the whole thing just barely fit into the dimensions of the box. I sketched a few ideas and landed on this design. It's simple enough, taking my inexperience with model making, but still has the vibes of what I was going for. I began by cutting a triangle out of some packaging foam that was lying around for the stairs. The foam was very airy, and so I had to use it as a base and stick things on as opposed to carving details into it. I had a bit of trouble as the hot glue seemed to melt the foam, and that it kept springing back straight whenever I tried to curve it. To combat this, I traced the shape of the curve onto paper and used that to cut some cardboard to hold it in place. For the broken tower, I slashed halfway through the thickness of the cardboard and bent it into shape. I then positioned rocks in front of it and began cutting the side to create an opening. I deviated from the sketch here as I felt like the doorway wasn't needed since there's a massive hole in the wall. To test ways to create texture before committing to one, I stuck different shapes and thicknesses of cardboard onto a bigger piece and glued them down. Once dry, I covered the whole thing with a black base and dry brushed grey over it as I've seen miniature painters do to bring out details. I thought the top left looked best for stone and the bottom for wooden planks. I cut some thin cardboard from a chocolate box into rectangles and stuck them on the top. I left some overhanging and then cut the ends with scissors to make it look like the planks had snapped. I then drew lines of about the same width and cut them out to make bricks. This took a while. I then glued them on the walls. Have I messed up anything yet? No. Okay then, continue. I then continued to cover the model, occasionally stopping to cut out more pieces. I cut out more of the archways so I could replace the curves with cardboard and glue them on. I used hot glue because it was faster, but I had to be quick and careful as the glue kept melting the foam. Instead of doing the same brick pattern again, I decided to make a checkerboard pattern. This was because I thought that it would both look better and be easier to do around the arches. I also would only need to cut out half the pieces, which was good because I was getting tired of doing that. Now, to glue everything together and get started on the interior. I thought an abandoned library would be best, then Quentin would have something to guard. Who knows, maybe she'll find an ancient tome and learn to wield it, gaining intelligence that will surpass any foolish human who stumbles in her lair. I first tried to make a really tiny bookcase as I wanted it to be to scale, and it just looked really bad, so I remade it. This time taking my time and scaling up, and I think it looked a lot better. I realised that you couldn't see into the back that well, so I hacked the side with a craft knife to open it in a way that it looked damaged. The corner then looked a little empty, so I made a lantern. To prepare the surface for painting, I covered everything in white acrylic gesso before painting it all black, except for the books and bookcases as I felt they wouldn't need it. For some variation, I added washes of yellow, red, and blue in between adding brown on the wood planks. I aimed for a subtle but effective effect. It looked great, but upon viewing it in different lighting, I realised that you couldn't really tell it was there, and it just looked all black. So I later added a few more layers. Directly under my lamp, it looked overdone, but viewing it in the room, it has the subtlety that I was looking for before. I spent the next hour or two alternating between dry brushing and adding washes of colour. Oh yeah, I also made it so light can be shone through the lantern. Maybe at some point I'll get some mini LEDs to put under the box. I bought some doll's house grass and some fake moss to try and make the castle look a little more lively. But before I start assembling everything into the box, I think we should examine the progress we've made so far. Here is the box all nice and cleaned out. Don't worry about Quentin, I just gently tapped his leg and he walked forward into the glass. I didn't want him to be in the glass for too long though, so I worked as quick as I could to assemble everything. Here it is, Quentin Castle. Did I need to make such a thing for a house spider? No. But I did anyway. It's been so cool seeing him explore his new home. Walking up the stairs, ducking under archways. He's like a little video game boss.